Hi and welcome to this video. My name is Dave Hideman. I'm the application specialist for the Steel segment here at Trimble, and today I want to put together a quick video to show you guys how to use publish attributes and how you can create your own. Now this is something we covered in the road shows, and we do talk about it from time to time, but it's an important enough and a useful enough feature that I feel like it's worth mentioning again and getting its own video. So the idea of a published attribute, we already have a lot of them saved away for you in the US Imperial environment. So a lot of these have been localized here, like for example, under the steel detailing published attributes base plates, you see there's a lot of these pre-configured base plates here, and they have a red number in the upper corner. Now that's something we've saved away to let you know what component they were created with. But the idea with a published attribute is that you don't need to load and apply settings from a drop-down menu. You can simply choose a thumbnail and then create that in the model and you get that situation. So even though I'm using 1047 here and I'm getting a base plate with bent rods, I can go choose one of the other 1047 options, like a base plate with straight rods, and without having to load a different setting, I'm getting a different configuration here. So this just really makes it easy for me to load these different settings up and use these different settings without having to actually go through the dialog box. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to create some of your own. In this case, I'm going to use 141, and I'm going to show you how you can very quickly save away multiple different attributes using the same connection so that you don't have to go and constantly be loading and applying and saving and that kind of stuff. Let's start over and see how these were created. So going back to how I originally got these, they're just regular 141 components that have been customized to give me these three different situations. First, I have a moment connection. I've got some rat holes, some bevels created on the flanges, and some backer bars. The next situation, I've simply added a seat welded to the column and then bolted through the beam. And then here I have a standard bolted connection where the bolts are staggered so that we can avoid hitting each other. So all of these are created through component 141, and normally you would have to, once you save these away, you would have to then load, apply, and then create them in the model, and you have to do that over and over again. We can create those published attributes by simply selecting these in the model. Once they've been inserted, we can right click and then we can choose the option Publish in Catalog. So when you choose Publish in Catalog, here's where you get the ability to give this unique 141 a special name. So I'll call this Moment with Backer Bars. This next situation here, I will go ahead and do the same thing. I'll right click and Publish in Catalog, and I'll call this with Seat Angle. And then the final situation here, I'll go ahead and Publish in Catalog and choose, I'll name this Bolted, Staggered. Okay, so now I have these three different situations that have been published or saved away to the catalog. Now these first show up in the ungrouped items of the component catalog because they haven't been categorized yet into any of these below. And you notice that while they all have the same picture, they have the unique name that I just saved them with. So this is a great opportunity if you wish to go ahead and save these away with a custom picture. So this is totally optional. You don't have to do this. Typically what I'll do is I'll open up a single 3D view of this situation, and then I'll go ahead and turn off things like grids. I'll take a screenshot from this, either using Tekla or say Windows built-in screenshot tool, and then save that away. So I'll do that real quick, and then we'll continue this video in just a second. So now I have these three situations saved away as images. All I did was use the built-in Windows snipping tool to create them. Older versions of Tekla did require them to be a bitmap file, but newer versions of Tekla, that's no longer a restriction. So I have these three files saved to my desktop, and really I just want to use them in my component catalog to help me visually identify that saved connection a little bit easier. So what I'll do now in my component catalog is I'll come over here and I will right click on one of these options. This is the bolted. I will choose the option for thumbnails, and then I'll click add thumbnail. I'll go ahead and I'll browse to where I saved that image. In this case I saved it on my desktop, and then I will uncheck the option for the old image and basically keep the option for the new image checked, and you can see how the image has now been updated. So I'll simply do that for the others, and this step again is totally optional. I just like doing it because visually I can pick up what a different connection is going to do a little bit easier than trying to read the name of it, and it just gives it a little bit more of a professional look, I think. So this final one here is going to be the seated situation, and we'll go ahead and click close. So now I have those three connections saved away with their settings in the component catalog, and we can use them, like I showed earlier, basically creating those connection types without having to load. So just to demonstrate that again, we'll delete those three situations out. Let's say I want to do the middle connection as a moment with backer bars. I'll go ahead and click on that button, pick the beam in the column, and now I've got a situation with the moment connection with backer bars. If I want to create the seat here on the end, I'll go ahead and pick the column and the beam, and I get my seated connection. So as you can see, rather than me having to go back and forth and load and apply and that kind of thing, these published attributes really make it a lot easier and faster to use these different pre-saved connections that I have. So as always, I hope you found this video helpful. If you are interested in learning more about this, I encourage you to reach out to your local help desk, and thanks for watching.